I was at the sneak preview of the film back in July, but I put off on seeing the movie as it didn't excite me. Before seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I saw the Guardians guest star on an episode of Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is a pretty good show, but that episode wasn't very good. I did some comic reading, did further research. At Comic-Con, I got to play the video game that featured the Guardians. I also got to speak directly with Michael Rooker, who was in the movie, and I briefly met Lee Pace, who is also in the movie. Since this is in the Marvel superhero universe, I decided I'll finally give this movie a shot, and here's my review. In Guardians of the Galaxy, there are heroes on Earth, but there's an entire galaxy of battles beyond that. When a young boy gets abducted and taken away from Earth after his mother's passing, he grows up to become a space bounty hunter, or maybe the word I'm searching for is Space Ranger. He goes by the outlaw name Star-Lord. Star-Lord gets captured and imprisoned with 3 other outlaws, and they end up finding another in the prison who ends up joining them on their breakout from prison. When they break out, they plan to use the power orb to stop the villainous Ronin, who works for Thanos. Star-Lord is played by Pratt from the Lego movie and Zero Dark 30. Nice to see him perform well, very well, in the live-action lead. His teammates are Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, Drax, played by the wrestler Bautista, Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel, and Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper. We also meet Star-Lord's boss, Yondu, voiced by or played by Michael Rooker. And we also get appearances by Benicio del Toro, Glenn Close, Nathan Fillion, John C. Reilly, Stan Lee, and more. Now, since this is a fantasy set across the galaxy, there's an abundance of CGI, as expected. Most of the humor balances with the action, drama, and 80s music. Doesn't balance well at times, but balances very well at other times. Most of the battle scenes are very well done, especially in the parts where Rocket Raccoon doesn't talk. That's the big problem with this movie. In the comics, Rocket Raccoon is supposed to be the show stealer with the wild personality and funny lines. In this movie, Rocket Raccoon is the moronic dumbass of the team. The prosthetic leg scene is mildly humorous, but in every other scene where he talks, it seems like the story gets each point across in the scene, but then the story stops the scene so that Rocket can spit out some unfunny jokes. Even at the end of the movie, he's still babbling out dumb puns while I'm saying, "Can we move the story along? Move along!" It was wise to keep him mostly silent during the final battle. After all, he is voiced by Bradley Cooper, and he's a stinker. Wouldn't mind it if his role were recasted and rewritten for the sequels. The real show stealer is Yondu, played by Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker has that fancy accent which he brings to Yondu, and Yondu has that no-hands arrow that he uses in battle. I want to see more of him. Plus, this is a very colorful movie. The bad things don't weigh down the movie enough when there are so many more good things that surround the movie. With that in mind, Guardians of the Galaxy is a pretty good movie for the summer and a pretty good superhero adaptation. It's a bizarre movie that is nothing like any of the films we've seen in previous Marvel Studio films, and it's made for the fans. It's no Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it beats up X-Men Days of Future Past. The credits scene is stupid. But with all that in mind, I'd say it's just worth it.